Yes, I'm in black and white. Do you care? Maybe, maybe not. But I know what you do care about. You came to find out what is the future for Brandon Boston Jr., especially with the New Orleans Pelicans. Well, I'll break that down for you right now. Cue the music.
This is the Pelicans Scoop with Jordan Kitchens, breaking down everything under the sun about your New Orleans Pelicans. Smash that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to stay on top of your Pels content. Now, running point, here's Jordan.
What is good, everybody? How are you guys doing today? Welcome back to another episode of the Pelicans Scoop. I am your host in black and white, Jordan Kitchens. Nice to meet you today, man. If it's your first time watching, so like, comment, subscribe, smash that bell notification so you can be informed when the next time I drop. We try to give you guys episodes every day. Before I even get to the nitty gritty of the main point of today's video, first I want to say that Jordan Hawkins has been diagnosed with a lower back strain. He's about to be out for the next 1 to 2 weeks. Another blow to this team, especially with the injuries. So when it rains, it pours, and honestly, at this point, it's really nothing new I would be reporting. It's weird because the thumbnail for this video is a picture of Jordan Hawkins and Brandon Boston Jr., so I had the concept of the video done before this news came out because it was really going to be about, Brandon Boston Jr. has played really well, and sooner or later when the team does get healthy, who's really going to play? Is it really going to be him or Hawkins? Because, Hawkins, as Brandon has been playing well, Hawkins started off real hot, and, his back has been acting up, so his play has gone down a little bit. So the main point of the video was trying to see, compare them a little bit, but now that Hawkins is out of the picture, that doesn't matter anymore. So the main focus of this video is just going to be about Mr. Boston Jr. In more news, the Pelicans, Trey Murphy III, has appeared on the injury report for the first time this season. He's doubtful for tonight's game against the Orlando Magic. The 3-6 Orlando Magic and the 3-6 New Orleans Pelicans are about to have battles. They don't have Paolo either, but Trey Murphy has appeared on the injury report. So that means he's moving in the right direction. He should be back maybe later next week or the week after that. So he's gonna come back finally. Everybody else, I can't say. Who knows? At this point with the injuries, who knows? You make yourself worse if you sit there and just harp on it and just be so fixated on this team being unhealthy or whatever. Because at this point, like I said in my post-game reaction, like, bro, it just is what it is at this point. Like, we're just easily the most hurt team in the NBA. And, bro, I mean, if you look at the Saints, you look at the Pelicans, LSU too. All three. I don't know what it is about Louisiana and keeping players healthy, but they just cannot do it. The medical staff needs a complete rehaul. But stay on topic. Today's video, we're gonna dive into some Brandon Boston Jr., man, because his play has. I ain't gonna say it's. I know it has. It has surprised me because I had no idea that he was gonna come in and be, not just inserted into such a high role, but being utilized so much. Yes, that has to do with a lot of injuries because obviously if this team was healthy, he probably would not be getting as many minutes as he's been getting, but that's besides the point, and he has done a lot with his minutes, and it brings you to a question, well, when people do come back and do get healthy, where does he fit in? So to really break it down, so Brandon Boston Jr., he's played 4 games so far, but like getting real specific minutes for the New Orleans Pelicans, like real high minutes. And in those games against Indiana, he played 22 minutes. He had 14 points, 2 boards, 2 assists. Versus the Hawks, he had 30 minutes, and he had 14 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Versus Portland, he played 36 minutes. He had 20 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. And against the Cavs, he played 38 minutes and had 14 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists. Now, the main thing that jumps off the page for me, and not just jumping off the page and just watching the games, is that, I spoke about it, that he's such a well-rounded ball handler. Said that, growing up, the first thing he did learn how to play basketball was learning how to dribble before he learned anything else. So you can kind of tell that already, that he is comfortable with the ball in his hands, and he's a great ball handler. And a willing passer, These 4 assists, 5 assists, those are good games. And then especially against the Cavs, even though, the Pelicans ultimately end up losing that game, he had 0 turnovers with 5 assists. That moves me. That moves me a lot. It means he's making the correct decision. He just got here. He's making the correct decision. He's not confused at what he's seeing. What he's seeing is what it's made out to be, right? So where does he actually kind of fit, in the grand scheme? But the problem, if we want to play this game, guys, the problem that you have playing this game, I'm just looking at how black and white I am. This was like a video from 1950s. I'm sorry, guys. It will not be like this again. I'm just looking at myself right now, and I'm looking like this is the Andy Griffin Show or something. I'm watching the Westerns with my grandpa back in the day. Just, whatever, Gunsmoke. But yeah. So where does he fit in the grand scheme? I have no clue, right? Because if you're gonna play this hypothetical game with the Pelicans, who will be healthy? That's another game in itself. Like, you're playing a game in a game. Nobody knows who will be healthy and whatnot. Like, so just looking at the roster, you got DJ or DeJounte Murray, CJ Hurd, Bi Zion, Messi, Trey, Javante Green, and Daniel Tice. Those are kind of like the guys who I feel are already solidified, given health wise. Those are like the three. Well, I said three guys. The multiple guys who I feel like would be a solidified piece of the rotation, especially Javante. Javante Green might be a toss-up too. So the toss-up guys I have are Jose Hawk and Brandon Boston Jr. and JRE. JRE's kind of in there with Daniel Tice. Like, they're the backup big man kind of with Missy, because he needs to be he has been. He's the starting big moving forward. But obviously, when players are healthy, Boston Jr. will not be getting as many minutes as he has. Like I said, 30, 36, 38, and 22. So he will not be getting those type of minutes. But where does he fit? Will he take that Najee role or the Dyson Daniels role? I kind of see him in that Dyson Daniels role, or some nights when Jose is just not giving you, Jose's hit or miss. He can fill in for Jose. He can ball handle. He can do that. So it'll be real interesting, because you're just making hypotheticals that this team will be healthy, so that he'll actually get pushed out of the rotation. And given recent memory and just the current state of the New Orleans Pelicans, is that health is not, it shouldn't even be in play. Like, trying to sit there and bank on being fully healthy is asinine at this point. So where exactly does he fit? And especially if it comes down to him or Hawkins, that's nasty, right? Because you want Hawkins to keep elevating, but Brandon Boston Jr. has done so much with little time. And Willie Green is known, but he also is known to just back his guys up. Hawkins is one of his guys. I'm not saying that like Hawkins was playing so bad where he needs to get benched or whatnot, but Hawkins, Jose, one of those guys. I mean, if Brandon Boston Jr. continues on this path, especially with Hawkins now being out, if he continues on this path, Hawkins being out, Herb is out, CJ's out, everybody's out, DeJounte's out. So if he continues on this path, it's going to get to a point where, like, you kind of need to keep him in the rotation. You can't keep ignoring his impact, right? So, but at the end of the day, it's not like Brandon Boston Jr. has come out here and just set it on fire and has been some type of, whatever, right? Like, where you're watching the games, like, him right there. He does not need to see the bench no more. So I'm not saying it like that, but it's interesting because he's been such a good piece for you, such a positive. What does happen when your guys come back? Especially, like I said, I mean, we shall see, and we will see tonight against the Orlando Magic, because no Hawkins, no Trey, no CJ, no DeJounte, no Herb. Bi, Zion, and Brandon Boston Jr. and Jose. That's what you're looking at tonight against the Orlando Magic, who are also missing their best player in Paolo Banchero he has an oblique injury. He's out. They're saying indefinitely, but he'll come back later this season, but no time soon. So how will the Pelicans respond? They're on the losing streak right now. They just lost against the Cleveland Cavaliers at home. They're on the road, so that the team plays better on the road. So I cannot make any guarantees for you guys anymore. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. This team has burnt me too many times for me to sit there and keep putting my hand on the stove. So I'm going to just let it play out, and what happens, what happens. This is their last game of the weekend. They're not going to play again until Monday. So it's a lot of time for guys to, get healthy, get back in the training room, get their bodies back right, and just be ready to go, because it's starting to heat up. You're steadily falling in conference play. It's never good, especially with the West. But it's not the end of the world, as I was tripping so hard. It's not the end of the world just yet, But dealing with this team, it kind of does feel like the end of the world, because every day you wake up, you're liable to see such and such is out 1 to 3 weeks, and he will be reevaluated into, like, oh God, make it end. So thank you guys for sticking in for another black and white episode of the Pelicans Scoop. I promise you guys, this will be the last episode like this. Hopefully this team can plot a W tonight, but there is no more guarantees dealing with the New Orleans Pelicans at all. So like, comment, subscribe. Let me know right now, where do you guys think Brandon Boston Jr., where does his future hold, especially where does his future hold on this roster? If hypothetically speaking, this team ever does become healthy, where does he fit in? So you guys let me know that. Thank you guys for staying locked in. You locked in with me. I'm locked in with you, and I'm signing out. Peace.